What's up, everybody? Eugene Man Roberts here, aka the Mayor, and I am here with another episode of Town Hall Meeting with the Mayor. So today, got a drummer, producer, songwriter. He plays talk box. He's a music director. He does everything. My bro, Mr. Rex Hardy Jr.
My bro, Mr. Rex Hardy. What's up, bro? How you, man?
Chilling, bro. Life is, in the midst of everything happening, life is pretty good. I ain't got no complaints.
Yeah, you're a father, so you're like me. So despite all, like, the cool thing is we get to spend time with our families right now. That's what I really like about. I mean, of course you can't like it, what's going on, but you know what I mean. Like, that's the cool thing. Like, and your kids are younger, so you get to watch them, day in and day out, like growing up and everything. So I'm pretty sure that's like a blessing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. I mean, it's almost like you think about things different now, because by us road or whatever we doing, we kind of miss that window stuff that we take for granted because we always gone. Then you come back, you be like, wow, I didn't see I didn't see you grow up. Far as now, you taller. I've been gone for 3 months. Now I'm in the house with you the entire 3-4 months.
Yeah. So it goes from being away and it's like you come back and it's like, wow, you're talking, to now it's like the flip side of, like, you see them every day. You actually don't see them getting taller really because you see them every day. So yeah, it's like that flip of the script. Yeah. Man, I got a question. I haven't asked anybody this question, actually. You've been with Mary how long?
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
So, and I've been with John almost 16 years.
Oh, that's
so
good.
My question for you is, what's one of your most memorable experiences with Mary, especially knowing the growth from them when you joined to now? What's like your most memorable moment?
Man, that's a hard one because there's been a lot, but I will say probably playing at the White House. I would say playing at the White House for sure. Y'all did one too, right?
Yeah, we did. We probably did everything y'all did.
So that was pretty like mind blowing, just for the fact of when we got on her gig 16 years ago, we wasn't thinking about no black president.
Right.
And that wasn't even, so then to be with an artist that the president, first of all, he's from here. He's from Chicago.
Right.
And then
that's like hometown hero to the 10th power.
Oh, definitely to the 10th power. But so to be playing for him and his wife with one of their favorite artists, and I happen to be this favorite artist's music director, it was crazy. It was
so as far as a music director, how did you approach it mentally, knowing, like, because of course, like, I know a lot of us know you play multiple instruments. We know that, if you had to teach a keyboard player their part, you going to at least pick them notes out in them chords and tell them it's right and wrong. So how did you approach that, coming from the drum throne and now in this position where it's like you're doing these arenas and you're doing these TV shows and, like, like, it's flawless. Like, you guys always sound amazing. Like, we know it ain't much in the track. We know, like, that whole thing. What was your approach mentally?
For me, I just kind of took everything that I learned from musicians that was around me, but two drummers that happened to have been music directors on their gigs. Even came up. Like when Teddy was the music director of Britney Spears when she was at her peak, Nissan Stewart. So those guys, I kind of saw how they moved. And one thing about them, they always moved with people they knew they didn't have to tell a lot to. You feel me? So if I got there, I know he's kind of going to know what I'm thinking already. Yep. So I try to get people who play their instrument like I'd play it.
Yeah. So that way you don't have to overwork and overthink, because I mean, I think a lot of people, especially with just a musician background, a lot of people don't really understand music director doesn't mean music teacher. Like, my job isn't to teach you the format of the song. Like, you know what I'm saying? My job is to make sure you understand what the changes are and make sure we as a unit make sense.
Definitely.
And coming from that standpoint, I think, you know, because I don't know if you know this or not, but, you know, I started as a drummer, you know, and I started with John as the drum tech and stage manager, you know, so I was Swiss Chris's drum tech, like, you know what I'm saying? But I always played drums, so like I always just had the mentality of like, okay, we need to make the music change. We can't keep looping these 16 bars. Like, where's the change? You know? So then it was like, well, what do you think? It's like, all right, cool. So now I got to start learning what those notes are, or knowing like going to the 5, going to the 4, or like whatever those things were. And then, you know, I just kind of started growing into it, playing and programming. But I think, you know, you're one of those people that are a staple in the industry because you bring what you bring to the table, not only as a drummer, but with the mentality of a music director. It's kind of like a Rashid, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's easy to work with Rashid because, you know, he MDs Jill. Like, he gets it, you know? There's not much talk. We don't have to go back and forth like, yo, bro, you sure you got the verse? You sure you know how long the verse is? Da, da, da. And it's just like, he's telling me like, yo, we out. I'm like, thank you, because I ain't had time to learn all of this because I'm worrying about this. Like, you know, and it's always good to have that Batman Robin feel, like with, especially like as the music director and like those people in your band, which is pretty dope, man. So from then to now, so now what's your thing that you feel like you're in? Because right now we all are doing something different. Me, I didn't start learning video editing and like you know what I'm saying? Like, we become these other people.
It's funny because you know me, so I always try to stay ahead of the curve. Like, I always try to figure out not necessarily what's next, but what can I learn that'll further me out of being just a drummer. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Even back in the day, like I used to have I still got the YouTube channel, but I used to put up like crazy videos of us rehearsing with Mary, and I would edit it all myself. But really stuff started picking up. Like, I got married, my kids came, all that ceased. Like, it was just
I ain't got time for that. My extracurricular is being dad.
Days was over. But now I find myself digging back into video editing. I've always been a fan of it, but I didn't have time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing video editing for my church. I do all
same here.
Yeah, I do all the pre-records. I do, you know, so it's like, for me, it has nothing to do with music right now. Like, it's, you know, that's in us. But I was like, okay, what else do you have to offer this industry? Because what you normally do ain't needed right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and you look, and you doing something that a lot of people wouldn't normally do, but you're doing it because you got the time and you care. But you've been doing some collaboration videos I've been seeing.
Oh yeah. Who I know I did one with Javad. I did
You did the one, Mr. Talkbox, right?
Yep, Mr. Talkbox. He did LMA and Mary J mashup.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, he hit me like, yo, man, you know you got to get on this. I was like, all right, because I'm like, cool, that's nothing. And then, of course, Dana Hawkins played bass on this Faith joint. Javad did.
Man, me and Dana honestly met when we were 14 years old as drummers. I'll never forget it. He was in Baltimore in the little church I used to play for in Philly. I was playing drums. I came down there to his church, and I forget, we did John P. Key, Clap Your Hands. I'll never forget it. And like, you know, that's the so I started doing all these syncopated things back there, and he was just like, yo, man, the way you flip the 16th note over the move. I was like, hold up, bro. Whoa.
No, I just play.
I just play the drums, man. All right, little Dennis, I get it. Shout out to Dana Hawkins, man. But like, that's how we met, man, and it was amazing, like, that we're all still friends. And I think even through this, man, I tell people all the time, and it's my common thread through all of my episodes, that right now is the best time that you can communicate and build relationships, rebuild relationships. Some people are actually screwing relationships up by just not communicating, but then there's that. So how important, let's talk about relationships, bro, like far as in the industry and just life and how important they are.
think relationships is everything, because to be honest with you, your relationship, I mean, just realistically, your relationship is going to last if it's real, whether you broke or whether you rich.
Yep.
Or whether you just maintain it. But the relationship, if it's not based off one of those, then you always good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like, I don't get into the, I got a relationship with this dude because he's working, or, oh yeah, that's
yeah.
It's like, nah, man. It don't matter what the person is doing. Either the relationship is genuine or it's not. But like you said, now people don't have the excuse like, oh no, bro, like I ain't even get your call. It's like, what were you doing?
What were you? You weren't on the plane. You weren't in sound chat. You weren't in rehearsal.
Yeah, so it's like, then you kind of know, like, I got it. They don't really, and it's cool. We grown men. It don't matter. But
yeah, I'm not gonna fight to be your friend.
No, it's not that serious. But like you said, this has shown some of the good in people and some of the bad. So
yeah,
I just want people to keep that exact same energy once this lift, whenever that is.
If you over there, stay over there.
Absolutely.
All right. So we know you done toured a lot of people. You done MD. You done this whole thing. 2-part question before we wrap this up. 1, who is your favorite artist that you've worked for? Because again, I love John. That's always gonna be my That's home. That is the majority of who I am and what I've done. But I really enjoyed working with other people and other. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe not your favorite. Like
I would say working, like when I got the Shaka Khan gig, I was just, and rest in peace to Cornell. That's who.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Cornell. Yep.
Play with Mary. Shaka opened for Mary in London.
Yep.
Time. So once, we was done with Mary for that time being, they got Cornell, and then it was like learning Shaka's music. The first couple of shows, I wasn't good. It's not that I didn't sound good. My feel wasn't what her music called for.
Yeah, I mean, because you coming from R&B, hip hop.
For real.
He said, listen, you go get all this Rex.
Look, I was like, I had to because I'm still in Mary tour mode. Now
yeah, exactly.
Playing Feel For You. You know what I'm saying? Songs like that. It's like, tell me something.
You was playing them like you was at open mic?
Basically. I was
you were playing the idea of the music?
Definitely the idea. Kick patterns was probably wrong, whatever. But that taught me to okay, now you got to disregard Mary and that approach and now do this. And once I learned it, man, it was so Shaka Khan for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing learning moment as well, just for your career, because a lot of people can't do that, go from gig to gig to gig. Like, I had to learn that early, because when I was jumping from John to Snoop, then to Ye, and then it's just like you're these different people. I'm playing key bass on this gig, then I'm playing talkbox and vocoder on that gig, and then I'm playing like main keys on that gig, then I'm literally playing aux on that gig. So I had to kind of start divvying up my mind of how this works.
And they want
all right. So the part 2 of that. Go ahead. What you about to say?
And they want all of you, no matter which version of you it is.
Yeah.
If you're doing aux, they want 100% of that. You're doing key bass, you know what I'm saying? So
yep.
Yeah, I learned that on Idol, but I mean, I got that start with because I was born to play Mary's music. That's not even.
Right.
I think it's by coincidence that I got the gig.
Yeah, I think a lot of us that have lasted on certain gigs a long time, it's like we were meant to be there, because we've lasted through a lot of transitions of managements and labels and budgets and these things that a lot of people don't know exist outside of seeing us on stage and that whole thing. Yeah. Who's somebody that you, dead or alive, this is like that? I'll take that gig tomorrow, right now. I don't even know the music, and count me in.
That would be Temptations. No joke.
Really?
Most people, of course, like my wife, that is my favorite group ever. I can play
So you know the movie in and out.
Oh, absolutely. But the funny thing about the movie is everything they talked about in the movie, I already knew.
Right.
That's like I mean, I got videotapes of like just Motown period, but really the Temptations. Like it's weird. Like we did Motown Week on Idol one year.
You was in heaven.
That was the happiest I've been.
You was probably telling them like, nah, my man, that ain't how that go. Cause I got this.
I was doing, bro.
You turned into Questlove real quick, boy. Quest good for that. He know. Listen, play some James Brown around Quest.
Dog, first of all, he's a human music historian.
Yeah.
To say the
yo, bro, I did Roots Picnic Public Enemy with him. I did Roots Picnic Usher, and I did Roots Picnic Snoop with him. And then I did like a couple regular Roots gigs, like filling in for Poiser and them. And it was just like, yo, this dude is a genius.
Oh.
Like he can play, talk, listen to another song all at the same time. And, you know, he really helped between him and Adam, like they put you in the fire so fast that you don't even know what's going on, that you ain't got no choice but to come out successful. Like, because that's a school in itself. And a lot of people don't understand, man. Like, we go through the trenches, like even now, like when we get called for certain things, because by the end of the day, we gotta step up and do what we gotta do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course, he's a problem, man. He's a real problem.
Man, that's wild. Again, people, this is my big bro, my big homie. We done been in it, so we can talk for hours. We ain't gonna do that to you, but we're gonna wrap it up soon. But before we wrap it up, bro, like, tell the people something that's just straight from Rex to them. Like, what's going on right now? What you want to see people doing by the time this is all over? Like, any of that?
Me, man, because that's what I'm doing. I want people to take all the good that they learned about themselves from this COVID thing and incorporate that into the rest of your life. Because we all
so basically, don't stop when this is over. To keep it going. Yeah,
like just like we said, keep that other energy going. If your energy positive, don't keep it going. Like, don't start getting, back arrogant or nothing, because now you back out in the streets. It's like, nah. If you was cool and humble when you was locked up, that same energy, and you know what I'm saying. I think it'll help all of us get to the next level, for the most part. But that's what I'm.
So basically, what he's saying is, stay with it. The long short, stay with it.
Keep that energy. But that's it, man.
Yeah. Well, before we get out of here, you know what? I haven't done this with anybody either. Talk about your electronics and in the change of music over the years, of how you transitioned from like barely any to now, like there's no drums in the track at all when y'all play.
Right. For me as a drummer, like I said, I always tried to stay ahead of the curve. So like real quick, like even when I got with Mary, I had pads shipped out there. She had a percussion player. So on her first gig, her previous drummer, he didn't play electronics to that extent with her because he didn't have to. It was a percussion player. Right. So I was there, I didn't play any percussion. I let, any triggers, whatever.
Yeah, you let him live.
Yeah. So once I moved around, like you said, we get to now, I already knew what was coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I already had the equipment, but now it's just to the point, if you can't really play electronics, I don't really know what gig, you know what I'm saying, you looking to do. Unless it's your own gig, which is cool. But
exactly.
Yeah, it's just a matter for me, it just switched because it's a switch I turn on and off because I always listen to the music in its entirety.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, that's not a real kick. I need that kick sound, or let me make it. You know what I'm saying? So you're as authentic to the music as you could be. So,
well, yeah, I mean, again, you got those people that think they hear a clap and they just put on any clap.
Anyone. It's like, no, just because it sounds like an 808 clap doesn't mean it's any 8. Like, either get them to sample it.
I think, you've worked with artists that are actual producers too. So I think that kind of changes and molds you a different way. My pivotal moment of making sure I had to make sure patches and everything were really right and inversions of chords and stuff. Boy, that was when I was playing with Teddy, Guy in Blackstreet, bro. You can't cut no corners with Teddy Riley.
Yeah. Teddy's the dude. I done heard stories. Like, I would work indirectly with Teddy, but I never played for them.
Mm-hmm.
I would play for them for free at some point too, just to say I played the music. You know,
you hear that, Teddy?
Dudes though, they smash. But yeah,
man, I'll never forget. We was at I guess I can say this because it's over. We were at D Wade and Gabrielle Union's wedding reception, and Guy performed, and Quest was the DJ. So we were in sound check. So we signed these NDAs, and nobody can't know who else is there, and blah, 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 blah. So we get there to sound check, and we all looking at each other like, y'all performing? Y'all performing? Y'all performing? Like, we all looking at each other. So then after we sound check, mind you, it was just me and a drummer playing with Guy because they wanted to keep it as tight as possible. It was a small venue. So I'm playing key bass. I put mostly everything in the track. I was like, I get to play key bass for Guy? Are you kidding me? Groove me? I like what? You couldn't tell me nothing. So then we got done sound check, and the most historic thing happened right in front of my eyes. Teddy and Quest, I feel like they had just met for the first time, and they started having a conversation about what Teddy used on Remember the Time in the studio.
Wow.
Equipment-wise. So that conversation, like, I've heard the stories, but knowing Quest as a historian and seeing his eyes like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like those memories to me. It's not even like the on stage is cool, but it's like those things are like, man, nobody else would have experienced it.
Oh yeah. No, it's crazy. When Quincy Jones, I played at Clive Davis party with Ricky Minor.
Uh-huh.
When Quincy Jones, I ran into him on the way out. He was like, man, you was the drummer? I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, you my kind of drummer. Man, I didn't have to play another gig after that. Ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. Kind of Quincy Jones, bro. Like, come on, man. You're right. Those are the kind of moments you just be like, okay, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, because at that point, it's just like whoever's online that doesn't like Rex Hardy as a drummer, that's fine. Quincy Jones loves my playing. You know what I'm saying? It's like those things. Like, it
does not matter. That one compliment can make every negative, whatever people got to say, you'd be like, yeah, all right, well, Quincy doesn't feel that way. So
right. Hey, that's like a subtle flex. Like,
right.
It's kind of crazy that you really don't like the way you know what I'm saying?
Just throw it out there and pull it back real quick.
Yeah. Well, man, before we get out of here, Rex, thank you, my bro, for being a part, man, coming on here, talking to the people, man. Thank you for your contributions to music, being one of the leading MDs, especially like not even just as a drummer, but just a MD that facilitates a well-known historic artist of our time. Like, she's one of the greatest of all. Like, you know what I mean? And you've been doing it consistently. I've never been to a show, and remember we was out and I was with Ro opening for y'all, and it was just, to me, it's amazing to be able to not play with the headliner and play with the opener. I can do my little 20 minutes and I get to say, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool to me. You know what I'm saying? And just like, thank you for always being a big homie to me and big bro, and like making sure we communicate and we do what we do, man, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all love, man. It goes beyond this music. And that's how I live. It has to, because if the music won't fade, but if your relationship fades in the midst of you trying to focus on it, it don't really matter anyway.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, but no, man, it's all love here. We brothers.
Yeah, my bro. Well, we about to get out of here, people. Rex Hardy, Man Philly, we out of here.
Sure.
Yep, my homeboy, my bro, the big homie, the living legend, Mr. Rex Hardy Jr. Yep, you can always catch him doing something great. If you stay tuned, you can see all his drum covers and everything he got going on. But to the meantime, between time to the next time, I want to shout out my good folks over at Roland, Brian, Igor, Nelly, Christy, my boy Joel, and shout out to Paul and Courtney Clemson over at the clinic. These my folks. Check it out. I'll give you more information about the clinic, but it's amazing. It's good for the techs, the roadies, just people that are in the touring world. So stay tuned.